That's why I didn't have a name tag. But anyway, and I've got the mic, so the quote is that those who believe they can and those who believe they cannot are often both correct. And I think that when you sit down, particularly in college, it was interesting. I'm going to step over here so I can get a little closer to you, and also so that I can face a lot of you. One of the things that Coach Smith did early on was to teach us about goal setting. And as you know, regardless of the industry, it's really important to have a clear, concise pathway and a direction for your team. And I'll harken back to 1992, the fall of 92. Most of you can identify with those years. Some of you are too young for that, but most of you are in the realm of where you probably remember those years. And it was the fall of 92, and I was in the locker room with Coach Smith, and it was just our team, just a short distance from here down at the Smith Center. And we were sitting in the locker room, and Coach Smith was up at the front, and we had the whiteboard, and we were writing down our goals for the year. And ultimately, it came down to what is our ultimate goal. We had talked about the mileposts that we wanted to hit, and the ACC and the ACC tournament. But then it was about what happens next, and obviously the NCAA tournament is the grand prize. That's what everybody's angling for. And so a lot of teams, in fact, I would venture to guess that every team, every player within the NCAA, within Division I, has that as their goal, and rightly so. But very few teams have the components that can actually achieve that success. A lot of people talk about it, but there are just a few that can really get there. And so in that locker room moment, we decided that was where we wanted to be. We wanted to be in New Orleans in the Superdome in the spring of '93. And this was, again, in the fall of '92. The next day, we came into practice. It was the first day of practice the next day. And Coach Smith had put 8x10 pictures in all of our mirrors in our locker. We just had a little cubby. And in the corner of the mirror, there was an 8x10 picture that said, University of North Carolina, 1993 national champions, and it was portrayed on the scoreboard inside the Superdome. Now, that was before Photoshop, and I didn't ask too many questions, but I thought it was really cool that we walked into that. The reason why I mention it is that the interesting piece, and there's a lot of talk about it within sports psychology and within the psychology of really anything that you do, the more subtle reminders, the more times that you have that little bump that says, here's what your direction, here's what you're headed towards. And no one in our entire team took that down the entire year. And to me, that was the subtle reminder that kept us focused. We were a team that was focused. We were a team that committed to each other. But that was that one piece that was just a constant visual aid that helped us focus. And so I think it was interesting because that was the first step in bringing our group, and we were from all over the country. We were from Indiana, I'm from Indiana, we were from the Bronx, New York, we were from New Jersey, we were from Pennsylvania, Texas. We just had a very diverse group, and so one of the early things is you come in off the street. Now, this was my junior year, so I had been around these guys for a majority of them for 3 years, but you're always bringing in new talent. And how do you blend that new talent? And the first thing that Coach Smith believed is we've got to set a direction. And so that was an interesting story there. And then,